Can you save a little bit of money by going with the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i versus the HP Omen Transcend? Now we have two different component specifications in these laptops. We have the i7-13700H with the RTX 4060 and the i9-13900HX with the RTX 4070. Now don't let this laptop deceive you. It packs a punch in all the right places. And in this video, I'm gonna help you choose which one is right for you and maybe even save you a little bit of money. Now, first and foremost, if you're looking for a thin and light laptop, the lightness is the wrong category. We're in gaming laptops, so both of these laptops do have quite a bit of weight to them, but you're gonna get a little bit of a thinner package with the HP Omen. You can see the weight and thickness coming up on the screen, both pretty decently weighted laptops, not extremely heavy, but definitely not light, but a little bit more thinness with the Omen. Now going ahead and taking a look at the ports, you can see we have two USB Type-Cs, and then a USB Type-C, a USB Type-A, as well as a headphone jack on the Omen. Flip them over, you can see we have one USB Type-A on each of the laptops, and then we have our headphone jack and manual cutoff switch for the webcam for the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i. Now on the back panel, really close to the same configuration here. Both have power adapters in the back, HDMI, network ports. However, we have a USB Type-C here on the back, and we have two USB Type-A's instead of the one. So a little bit of extra connectivity along the back panel of the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i. Now looking at the build quality, I like the way that the Omen is assembled a little bit more. You can see the bottom cover is fit into the side panels very nicely. No catchy edges, nothing sticking out. It's very simple. Love the design. Now going ahead and looking at the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i with a plastic bottom cover. We have an aluminum bottom cover on the HP Omen, and you can see it's a little bit more complicated on the bottom. You have different edges and things kind of bump in and bump out. A little bit more of a gamer vibe on the Lenovo Legion. Of course, it is a gaming laptop, but just pointing that out. Now, I do like the sturdiness of the top cover on the Lenovo Legion. If you go ahead and you look at the top cover press, the HP Omen presses a little bit more than the Legion can press. So just keep that in mind. The Legion is a little bit more sturdy in regards to the top cover. Now, battery life is one area that if you want to get some great battery life, I would lean you towards the HP Omen. This was actually quite shocking to me because I was able to turn off the dedicated GPU on the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i, and I wasn't on the HP Omen. And the HP Omen has a brighter screen. It has a mini LED display with a lot of brightness, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But the battery life was better on the HP Omen. Now, both laptops were set to 20% screen brightness with window battery saver mode on, as well as them both in their quiet modes. In regards to the screens, as I just mentioned, we have a very bright mini LED display on the HP Omen, 778 nits of screen brightness with a 100% sRGB, 92% Adobe RGB, and 100% DCI-P3, all at a Delta E of 1.98. For the Pro 5i, we have 507 nits of screen brightness at 100% sRGB, 80% Adobe RGB, 80% DCI-P3, and a 0.97 for the Delta E. So if you're looking for a fantastic screen, I'm gonna send you towards the HP Omen, which actually makes my heart quite sad because you know, if you've watched my channel for a long time, how much I love the Legion lineup. But HP really has something special here, and I think it's highly worth considering. But again, we're talking about if you can save some money by choosing the good old trusty Legion laptop in this video. I filmed a full video of the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i versus the HP Omen, and if you're interested in that, definitely check it out after this video. Now, going ahead and opening the laptops with one hand, you can see they both open and close easily with one hand. One area that the Legion is going to do better at, though, is the screen wobble. So watch this. I'll just barely tap it, and it just wobbles. And that, like, it like shakes, but then stops very quickly. There's a lot of wobble. The screen is also more rigid on the LP5, so definitely keep that in mind. There's a lot of screen wobble here on the HP Omen. Now, there is a manual cutoff switch for the webcam here along the top. It's a little plastic piece that slides in front of the webcam where you have the switch on the side panel of the HP Omen. Here's a quick sample of the webcam so you can see what they look and sound like. This is the webcam on the HP Omen Transcend and a little sample of the audio for you as well. This is the webcam on the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i and a little sample of the audio for you as well. Now, if you're curious about the exact price and availability of each of these laptops, you can head down in the description below and click those links. If you do make a purchase, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But of course, that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. Now, taking a look at the keyboards, you can see that we have full size with a numpad on the Lenovo Legion. However, we just have these kind of extra keys on the HP Omen. If you are somebody who really likes the numpad, obviously it's a no-brainer. The Legion is going to be your choice. Overall, though, I like the keys better on the Lenovo Legion. I love the kind of dipped key. It feels really nice on my fingers. They fit nicely in those keys. This keyboard is great on the HP Omen. It's still a solid keyboard. I just like the Legion keyboard better. However, if you're looking for a larger trackpad, a more dampened trackpad, a little bit quieter, I would go for the Omen. I love that trackpad more than I like the Legion trackpad. I've kind of complained about the Legion trackpad for a few years now. It's probably the one thing I don't like most about the Legion. So definitely the Omen is the way to go for the trackpad. Here's a quick sample of me using each of the keyboards and trackpads so you can hear what they sound like in use. And of course, for a little speaker sample, here's a sample of the speakers. You can hear what they sound like while they're being used. All right, now both laptops do have a really great upgrade path. You can upgrade both RAM sticks in the laptops, and you can upgrade 2 M.2 drives in each of the laptops. One comes occupied, one comes unoccupied, so great upgrade paths for both. Now, without further ado, let's get into the main event, and can the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i keep up with the HP Omen? Now, taking a look at Geekbench single core and multi-core, you can see the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i is quite a bit down the charts here. It scores a 2105 versus the HP Omen with a 2789. Not off to a great start. Moving into Geekbench multi-core, you can see that it picks up a little bit of pace here, scoring a 15,196 versus a 16,049. So definitely a bit closer in that multi-core performance. Now moving on to Cinebench R23, single core, a 1903 versus a 2106. So definitely closer in R23. Taking a look at multi-core though, definitely drops some space between these two laptops. We have 20,000 versus 26,000. So 6,000 points difference for multi-core in Cinebench. Now, it's so hard to know which laptop is actually better with these simulated benchmarks. So let's go ahead and jump into some real world tests and check out the Photoshop benchmark. Taking a look at the Pro 5i, it scores a 1,095. Great score. Fantastic score versus the HP Omen with a 1217. Now, little hack, if it's substantially cheaper, like I said, don't know the live pricing when you're watching this video, but if the Legion is substantially cheaper, you could go ahead and upgrade your RAM inside of the Legion for maybe $150 to $200, give or take, and then you could get equal performance inside of Photoshop because RAM and Photoshop are like best buds. So you can definitely get more performance by doing that if the savings is enough by the time you're looking to purchase. Now, going ahead and looking at After Effects, you can see we score a 921 on the LP5 and a 993 on the Omen. Not a huge gap there either. So really, really good value here in the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i. I know I'm considered a fanboy, but it's because it's a great laptop. The Omen's showing great performance, but the Legion's right behind it. Now, going ahead and taking a look at Blender, scoring a 902 versus a 1010. So only about 100 points there. Now, looking at Autodesk 3ds Max and Autodesk Maya, the Pro 5i is a nice mid-range on the chart. However, the HP Omen is more near the top 5 on the chart. As we go into PTC Creo, we see the LP5i drop down a little bit. So definitely an advantage there for PTC Creo by going with that RTX 4070 over the 4060. And then as we get into SolidWorks, you can see that the spread gets a little bit more from a 115 up to the HP Omen Transcend at a 126, but nothing crazy at the difference between these two laptops. Now, next up on the lineup is going to be the 4K export time. Take a 9-minute 4K clip, put it into Premiere Pro, and then export out at full quality 4K YouTube settings. The HP Omen scored a 216, and the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i scored a 236. So only about a 20-second difference. Looking at 6K, same test, except we're using 6K instead of 4K footage. The Pro 5i scored a 1227. The HP Omen scored a 1541. Like I said, this thing's a beast, okay? Like, I don't like it for nothing. The HP Omen, like I said, has some great performance here. It's really improved on the build quality in 2023, but the value of the LP5i is just bonkers. All right, next let's take a look at dropped frames. For the HP Omen, we saw 0 drop frames for 4K and 6K B-RAW as well as 6K red footage. However, for 6K B-RAW and 6K red footage, we saw some drop frames out of the Pro 5i, 32 for B-RAW and 15 for red. That's out of 16,177 in the project, so you're probably not even gonna notice. But I would say that if you are going to be editing 8K footage, you gotta go with the HP Omen. That 4060 inside of the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i is just not enough to cook up some quality playback and do it smoothly for 8K footage. Now, looking at DaVinci Resolve, we have a 4-minute and 43-second export time for the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i and a 5-minute and 6-second export time for the HP Omen. Which laptop should you buy? I think if you're wanting maximum performance and a fantastic trackpad as well as a super bright screen, then the HP Omen is the way to go. The LP5 doesn't even hold a candle. However, if you want almost as good a performance and actually better performance for the export time for 6K, then you should be choosing the Lenovo Legion Pro 5i. Great keyboard, great build quality, great performance, and save you a little bit of money. Links in the description if you're ready to make a purchase, or click or tap the screen for the other videos that I mentioned to help you with your purchasing decision. I'll see you in the next one.